Good morning, students. In the last session, we saw um Lus Long losing the first trial, the qualifying jump, and then he was disgusted and was walking back, hitting the dirt. And then someone touches his shoulder. Then we saw it was Lus Long. And then Lus Long and Jesse Owen has a pleasant conversation. They introduces one of themselves to one another, and then Lus Long asks Jesse that something must be eating you, but we see that Jesse Owens does not tell him what is eating him up. But then he understood that Lus Long has already understood what is eating Jesse Owens. Then he understood from the conversation that though Lus Long is trained under Hitler, he is not influenced by the Nazi youth movement or the Aryan supremacy uh, theory. So he said the both of them are of the same mind, and then they had a few talk and laughed over many things. And when Lus Long understood that Jesse Owens is not worried about, so when that Lus Long is so when he understood that Lus Long is say Jesse Owen is not angry now, he is at ease. Lus Long says to him, why don't you draw a line a few inches in back of the board and aim at making yours take off from there? So there is no question that you will be making a foul. So finally Jesse Owens and then Lus Long becomes a bit friendly. So he says to him, how much effort you make is not, that doesn't matter in the qualifying jump. What matters is the main game that will be conducted tomorrow. So let's see now the rest of it. So we have here, suddenly all the tension seemed to ebb out of my body as the truth of what he said hit me. What did he tell him? He told him to draw a line a few yard back and then take off from there. And then second point what he said is, what matters is not today's qualifying jump, what matters is tomorrow's final one. So that hit him, that what he said hit him. Suddenly the tension, all the worry, all that was eating him up seemed to ebb out. What is meaning ebb out? Decline, gradually move out of his mind, out of his body, as the truth of what he said to me. He said that truth, that today is not what matters is tomorrow's final jump. I drew a line a full foot in back of the board and proceeded to jump from there. I qualified with almost a foot to spare. So he had a foot of place to spare, and then he qualified in the qualifying jump. That night I walked over to Lus Long's room in the Olympic village to thank him. Why did he go to thank him? Because he had done exactly what Long had told him. He had told him to draw a line a foot few inches behind, and then he had drawn almost 1 foot backward, and then he qualified. Therefore he wanted to say thank you to him. I knew that if it hadn't been for him, I probably wouldn't be jumping in the final the following day. So Jesse Owens was sure, because in that anger he was prone to make mistakes after mistakes. So if Lus Long had not encouraged him, helped him out to come out of his anger and his fear and his frustration, he would not have made up the qualifying jump, and he would not be able to take part in the final. So it was the help of Lus Long that helped him. So for that he wanted to go and thank him. We sat in his quarters and talked for 2 hours. Look at, almost 2 hours they spent some time together. Look at, about track and field and ourselves, the world situation, a dozen other things. So let's see here. So look at, they sat around and had talk all about themselves, about the track and the field, the world situation, and many other matters they had been talking. So a good friendship bond is built between Luz Long and Jesse Owens. Now let us see what happened. When I finally got up to leave, we both knew that a real friendship had been formed between whom? Long and the man Jesse Owens. Luz would go out to the field the next day trying to beat me if he could. So, what they had made up the mind, the next day, Luz Long was ready to do his best in order to win the medal. But I knew that he wanted me to do my best. At the same time, Luz Long also wanted Jesse Owens to do his best, even if that meant my winning, even if Jesse Owens had to win the prize, Luz Long wouldn't mind. He wanted Jesse Owens to do his best. That was the bond of love that was created between Jesse Owens and Luz Long. So we can make out what kind of nature a good man, a good-hearted man was Luz Long. As it turned out, Luz broke his own past record. That means he did better than what he had done the last time. In doing so, he pushed me on the peak performance. On the peak performance, the best performance. That means he broke his own record, means Jesse Owens had to do still better. He had to do the best in him. I remember that at that instant I landed from my final jump, the one inch set the one which set the Olympic record of 26 feet 5 by 16 inches. So here Jesse Owens also breaks his own and then record, his own record, and then he has got 26 feet 5 by 16. He was at my side. So when he broke the record and won the match, who was at his side? He, Luz Long, was his side congratulating me. Despite the fact that Hitler glared at us from the stands not 100 yards away. See, Luz Long was trained under Hitler, so Hitler might have been angry for Luz losing the game, and then all the more Luz going to congratulate Jesse Owens might have irritated Hitler too much. He just did not mind all that, though Hitler was looking at both of them with big eyes and then with anger. He did not mind that. He congratulated Jesse Owens. Luz shook my hand hard, and it wasn't a fake smile with a broken heart sort of grip either. So he's saying that wish was not a made up one. It's not a put up smile that he had, or it was not with a sort of grip. It was not a wishing with hurt feelings inside. It was a wish that came from his heart, explaining the happiness in him for Jesse Owens' victory. So let's see the last part. The most important part of the lesson that we could see here is the conclusion of it, beautifully written by Jesse Owens here. Look at, you can melt down all the gold medals and cups I have, and they couldn't be plating on the 24-carat friendship I felt for Luz Long at that moment. Look at the experience of Jesse Owens. He is telling, all the gold medal I have got, and if you were to melt them and then take the pure gold out of it, the friendship that I have with Luz Long will not be equaling with that 24-carat of gold. So he says the friendship that I have is much more important, much more costlier, much more worthier than the gold medals that I have. I realized then too that Luz was the epitome of what Pierre de Coubertin the founder of the modern Olympic Games. So who is the founder of the modern Olympic game? Pirareddy Coubertin, the epitome. Who is the epitome? According to Jesse Owens, Louis Long is the epitome. What is meaning epitome? The embodiment, the best, the embodiment. Must have had in mind when he said, the important thing in the Olympic game is not winning but taking part. We always hear this. We always hear this told by our principals, told by our game teachers, told by our teachers. It's not important that you win, but participation is what matters. The essential thing in life is not conquering everything but fighting well. So, conquering is not in the hands of everybody. Someone wins, someone loses. But what we important is fighting. So, beautiful conclusion here Jesse Owens gives. He says that even if the whole gold medal that I have got, the cups and medals that I have got, they couldn't be a plating in the 24-carat friendship that he felt in the company of Louis Long at that particular moment when he congratulated him. He says that the founder of the modern Olympic game, Pirareddy Coubertin, might have told this sentence, keeping in his mind Louis Long. That is the important thing in life is not game is not winning but taking part, and the essential thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. So I hope you have understood this lesson. We have here the beautiful experience of Jesse Owens meeting Louis Long in the Olympic Games at Berlin in 1936. So Jesse wanted to disprove Hitler's Aryan supremacy theory by winning gold medal and bringing that to his home. So he had been practicing for 6 years, and then when he reached the ground, he finds a tall man hitting more than what he could at the first qualifying jump. And then with that, Jesse Owens gets perturbed. He is startled, and then he makes a mistake. When he is angry, he makes a mistake in the qualifying jump. And the same man whom he had thought is the masterpiece of Hitler, whom Hitler has brought, he had been hiding the identity of Louis Long in order to prove his Aryan superiority theory. And then Louis Long himself comes advising Jesse how to make his qualifying jump perfect. And then Jesse Owens gets the final selected, and he feels extremely happy, and he goes to thank him. And then there builds up a beautiful relationship between both of them. And at the end, we find Jesse Owens winning the match, and then Louis Long with much happiness coming to congratulate him. And then he says all the cups and the medals that he has got does not match with the friendship that he built up at that moment with Louis Long. So we have here mainly two main characters, and then we see the story. The title, My Greatest Olympic Prize, is very appropriate, but because he says the Olympic prize that he got was the friendship with Louis Long. So here Jesse Owens narrates his own experience that he that time when Hitler believed Aryan superiority theory is propagated and felt the best. He participated in order to disprove him, and then he win in that. So here we see in Germany in 1936 in Berlin this happens, and then the Olympics were at hand, and then people were happy to have a Negro athlete participating and winning the game. The Jesse Owens narrates his experience in very lucid and straightforward manner. It's very intelligible, and then it's a first person narrative. Louis Long gives the the important lessons of being a true sportsman. So I hope you have understood this lesson. So we are finishing with our online classes. We have almost done 5 lessons. We have finished with 3 poems and 2 lessons. One poem before the lockdown we had finished, that was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And then in the online classes I have taught you The Patriot, Abu Ben Adam, and 9 gold medal, the 3 poems. And we have taken 2 stories, that is The Little Match Girl, that is 7th lesson, and then we have skipped 8th lesson since it was too long. I thought I will take it after the lockdown. And then we have come down to 9th lesson, that is My Greatest Olympic Prize, the one we are learning just now. So we have got altogether 5 lessons. So for your holiday homework, you will have to complete all the question answers in the workbook. I'll be personally checking them when we get back into the class. So don't take things for granted. Spend these holidays with your books. Since you cannot go out, it's good that you be friendly with your books and spend time with your books, so that you can complete all your work, not only 1 or 2 subjects, but give sufficient time to all the subjects. So for your homework, you will have to complete the workbook of all 5 lessons. And for your project, you will have to write the summary and critical appreciation and the gist of the lesson and the poem, all 5. You will make you can either buy the A4 sheets or ruled project file paper, and then you can do them. The first pages and the last pages I'll let you know. All those students who had been in my class last year, I had given you clear cut explanation how to make a project file. And all those who do not know, write and keep all these first pages and the second pages if you do not know. All those who don't, do it. Those who do not know, I shall help when we come back to the school. So for your project, you will be writing the summary, the theme, and the critical appreciation of all 5 lesson. Okay, all 5 lesson. Say 350 to 400 words, 350 to 400 words. And from Shakespeare, though we have not learned Shakespeare, please just don't forget it. Merchant of Venice, we will write 4 characters, that is Antonio, Shylock, and then Bassanio and Portia. So 4 people's characteristics we will be writing, whatever we have learned in the last year. Keep that in mind, and then we will write. So we are finishing with our online classes now. From now onwards, you will be having holidays. These lessons are visible in the YouTube. If you have not been able to see in the NLP properly, go through the YouTube channel, and then you'll be getting them now and again. Go through the sessions, listen to the session, read your own book, and try to do the answer and the project work. The homework and the project work I will also be putting in the lofty in your homework place, so you'll get them clearly written in the homework place, so that you can go through. So during holidays, be friendly with your book, spend time with your books, and then enjoy your holidays. God bless you. Thank you.